Bombaclat!
Very short video. I didn't really have anything planned because I have to leave for a trip, so I probably won't be posting for a little bit. But, I will be trying to post some older videos on some different platforms in like shorts and stuff. So I'm gonna try and link all of that in the description. Hopefully this stuff is up by the time this video is out too. If not, then you guys will see it eventually. But anyway, back to the video. Hi, hello YouTube. Finally, my courses are done. Well, actually that's a lie. I have an exam in like 2 hours, but one, it's online, and two, that is literally the last thing I have. That was actually a lie too. I have another assignment that's due later tonight. I did record a bit of the process before that. I'm gonna try to cut to that now because that assignment took a lot longer than I thought it would take, but I will talk to you guys later.
Yeah!
Voiceover for this part of the video. It's so late. I should not be recording this right now. Basically, this was my final assignment, so I really only had a few of them for this course, which is nice. I think that I just spent too much time not doing this assignment because I didn't realize how much actually has to go into it, and I didn't even end up doing a lot of it. Get you guys into what this assignment is about. It's basically a layout for an existing room. So my teacher gave me a layout of this room that he made or whatever, and I have to basically copy the room but from a different angle. And I was supposed to use this thing called raw shapes, which is basically just creating the overall shape and structure of a certain building, maybe like a door or like an object in the room, just to help with like the perspective and getting the proportions right. I did not do any of that. I'm just gonna say right now, I literally did not touch any of that stuff because I didn't know how to properly convert it over to my own file. So I was like, okay, let me just try and do this moment. I really only pulled like half of the room. Like this room was pretty big, but there's like 2 water sources, and I'm like, okay, I just want one. I don't need this big ass room for my final with all these small details. Like, I'm just gonna pick this corner of the room. And something that I still wanted to focus on, kind of carrying from my last assignment that I did, was just the line quality and kind of looking out for tangents again, because a lot of people don't like them and it's not like something appealing to have in art pieces. But me personally, I don't like them, especially when it's part of my own work. So I try to draw around as many as I can while still like keeping a believable perspective. So I tried to work on that, and he also gave me a brush. Like, I'm supposed to use this brush for all of the line work, so I didn't really have a choice on some like finer details because it was like so hard to get a fine line with that kind of brush. It was rough in a way, and I haven't really looked at a bunch of different brushes on Photoshop, so I don't really know how brushes work. The one that he gave me was a little bit tricky to use. It's still not a bad assignment. I think it was just me that really messed up how fast I was doing this assignment, but it was also my last one, so I was like, okay, I can just go and do my other coursework, because I did have something else that I was supposed to be studying for. I mean, it's not really studying because it's a film course, so all you have to do is just watch movies. But I got to watch a few good ones actually. I watched Rocky and Creed back to back, and then I had to like write about it in an exam or whatever. Because the course is basically just about, I guess, camera angles and certain shot selection and stuff like that. So sometimes it's annoying because I want to just watch the movie for the story, and it feels like I have to like analyze every single scene that's happening, so then I remember it for the tests and stuff. But I really do like watching movies. I think that I just kind of spend more time watching anime. I think that like Hollywood movies in general are really cool. I don't know about being a director as a job because that is so much to handle. Like, I know a few people from my course want to go into directing and just being able to create their own projects and stuff, but that's a lot of work. And I'm not saying that it's something I would never do in the future, but it's something that like takes so much planning and thought process and time just to get stuff rolling that I think I'm a little bit too impulsive to spend that much time just thinking out a project. But I think working on a project with someone would be really cool. Hopefully I can work on something in the future and maybe even get it on the channel someday with someone else that I meet that also likes to do art. But yeah, this assignment wasn't too hard. It was just a little bit more time consuming than I thought it would be. And there better not be any guidelines that I didn't read saying that I need to show like a certain amount of the room or something, because I literally chose like the easiest corner where there wouldn't be a bunch of like really small details. I don't know. This teacher low-key hates me, so as long as I pass the course, that's all right with me. And I thought I was gonna get a break before I go back to school. I have 2 weeks, so I basically went from full-time in school to 2 weeks off to courses over the summer to 2 weeks free now. It's a lot of work, but I feel like I am learning a little bit more about digital art, which is really what I want to do, is just be able to create stuff, not just on paper, but digitally, especially with animation. I wish I did more animation this summer because I really want to try and like learn how to time stuff out, maybe learn a few new techniques, but can't really do anything without a teacher or watching like 4-hour-long YouTube tutorials. So hopefully this year I learned something I can put it on the channel for you guys too. This is what it looked like once I was finished. I think that it turned out decent. I mean, not my favorite piece of work, but I think it'll do for now. And I don't even know what time it is, so I'm gonna try and get some sleep. I will talk to you guys later.
There is no tomorrow!
What? Oh, nah. 2 snakes? Stop.
It's pretty much gonna be the end of the video. I know I didn't really do that much. I have been kind of busy because I'm packing up for a trip, but if you don't already know how this part of the video goes, I usually just ask myself a few questions, so feel free to ask yourself these questions too. My first question for this video is, how comfortable are you being alone? I'd say I'm alright, but if you were to ask me, are you alright with being alone 24/7 every day, then I would definitely have a different answer. And that would be that it is kind of scary. That feeling of not being able to have anyone to talk to or anyone to relate to how you're feeling at the time it's a little bit scary. And for a lot of people, I think it's really hard to deal with, just having no outlet at all. Sometimes your parents are too busy or you don't feel like opening up to them about something. It can be really hard to be alone all the time. But me personally, I feel like I have gotten used to it a little bit. Not so much internalizing stuff, but really just being able to understand my own emotions and how I'm feeling. And it helps that I talk about it on this channel all the time. So thank you guys for listening to whatever it is that I have to talk about, because I think that for me, it's just a great way to get my feelings out without just dumping it on random people. My next question relates a little bit to the previous one. What is suspicion? I think that this kind of relates to my first question, because the longer you're alone, I think the more overthinking you do and the more suspicious you become of people. Sometimes you wonder, do they really just want to talk about this or be my friend, or are they just doing this to pass time and they don't really care about me? And it's really something that's hard to kind of fight against, because over time I think that it happens to everyone, and obviously no one wants to always be suspicious or think about another person just misusing their trust or betraying them all the time. So I think that suspicion is just overthinking on another level, especially if it ends up in you just suspecting someone so much to the point where you want to distance yourself and you don't feel comfortable opening up to them. I feel like that's happened to me in the past, where I have opened up to people and sometimes they have used it against me, and that really makes me kind of suspect other people once I meet them for the first time. Like, can I really trust them with my feelings, or can I really depend on them to comfort me if I'm just feeling horrible and don't know what to do? And again, it's something that I think just happens once you overthink, and it's kind of hard to prevent. So I think it's important to be very cautious of when you're suspecting someone, and if it really like is pissing you off that much, then maybe just ask them, hey, are you really treating me like this because you care about me, or are you just treating me like this to get something out of this relationship or this friendship or this partnership, anything? I think that suspicion can really just stem from any kind of interaction you have with people where you feel like you can't trust them for some reason. My last question for this video is, does anything last forever? I don't know. I don't have an answer for that one, because I'm not gonna live forever, so I can't really tell when stuff is gonna end. There's a lot of things that are gonna outlast me, but I don't really know if they're gonna last till the end of time. I don't think anyone really knows, because no one really lives that long. But it's important to remember that the fact that things don't last forever is what really makes them special. I think especially when it comes to everyone's time on this planet, knowing that there's an end should try and motivate people to do everything that they really want. Why is there a bee on me? Just like how this bee wants to sit on my leg. It's not gonna last forever, but apparently that's what it wants to do. So knowing that things won't last forever is what intrinsically gives it even more value. Knowing that stuff doesn't last forever, I think helps people put into perspective what they have and the chance that they get to live this life. And it's all right that stuff doesn't last forever. I think a lot of the time, if stuff did last forever, it would kind of backfire, because you would get so used to it happening all the time that its importance and its value would fade a little bit. So I think that nothing really does last forever, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far, and remember to stay hydrated.